Even though Mississippi State's season ended short of the Final Four, the Bulldogs still had a lot of great moments. 33 wins, a trip to the Elite Eight, the SEC regular season, and tournament championships. Both Mississippi State and Iowa's football teams went through walkthroughs in Raymond James Stadium on Monday. Off the field, a lot of activities going on, a battle of the bands, also a big parade in Ybor City, a part of Tampa. The College World Series resumes on Monday, but Mississippi State's season ended on Saturday night with a 5-2 loss to Oregon State. Next up for Ole Miss, a return to non-conference action, a home game next week against Kent State. Reporting in Oxford, Jim Holder, WTVA 9 Sports. Good evening from Amory. It is high school football jamboree time. A lot of them going on throughout the area. These preseason scrimmages, teams are tired of hitting each other, so they're hitting each other tonight, at least a little bit. We're in Amory, where the Panthers are hosting the Tupelo Golden Wave. They've been underway for a few minutes now, working on special teams right now. They'll play about a quarter or two. These jamborees, by the way, in case you didn't know, do not count in the standings as the regular season begins next week with Friday Night Fever. We'll have highlights from this one and the Hatley Jamboree tonight at 10 o'clock.
Our first game of the week for this year is Corinth at Shannon. WTVA Sports Director Jim Holder is joining us live with a preview.
Emily, we're expecting an outstanding matchup here tonight for our Game Day Haircuts and Spa Game of the Week. It is indeed Corinth at Shannon, two outstanding teams, two teams that wear red and black. So they've played each other for several years in a row now. Let's take a look at both of these teams, and we'll start with the visitors, the Corinth Warriors. And they're expected to be one of the top teams in the area in 2019. They went 11-3 last year. D.T. Sheffield returning at quarterback, and he is a dual threat. He ran for 1,000 yards last year. He threw for 1,000 yards. Tam Patterson in the backfield with him rushed for nearly 2,000 yards. And even though it was a jamboree, Corinth kind of made a statement last week. They beat defending 6A champion Horn Lake in the jamboree they played in. Todd Lowry is the Warriors head coach. Meanwhile, the home team, the Shannon Red Raiders, they won their division last season. Were eliminated early in the playoffs, though. Shannon went 8-4. Keith Shannon will be their new starting quarterback, and he's got several weapons around him in the backfield and receiving-wise. Red Raiders have several players back defensively as well, led by Dietrich Anderson and Deshaun Montgomery, and Shannon's head coach is Daryl Carter. Need to mention our Instagram contest. We've had it here for the last couple of days for our Band and Cheerleader of the Week. We've had you voting in that. Great participation as always, but our Band and Cheerleader of the Week will be Corinth. Corinth wins our Band and Cheerleader of the Week, our Instagram contest. Appreciate everyone participating in that. You'll see the Corinth Band and Cheerleaders tonight at 10 on Friday Night Fever. Also want to mention real quick, one game has been pushed back tonight. Kossuth and Baldwin, originally scheduled for 7 o'clock. Kossuth and Baldwin will now start at 7:30 at Latimer Field. 7:30 start for Kossuth and Baldwin. Coming up tonight at 6, we'll tell you about all the games we're highlighting on Friday Night Fever, and we'll talk with both head coaches here between Corinth and Shannon as well. But for now, reporting from Shannon, I'm Jim Holder, WTVA 9 Sports.
Now, WTVA Sports with Sports Director Jim Holder.
High school football practice has kicked off for public schools across North Mississippi. Friday Night Fever returns just 18 days, August 23rd. But right now we begin our version of two-a-days, two previews Monday through Friday leading into the season. We begin with the Tupelo Golden Wave, and we already have a major injury to report. Head coach Trent Hammond broke his leg about 3 weeks ago, can't stand on it, so he's riding it around in a cart for now, but he hopes to be back to full strength soon. Otherwise, the Golden Wave are at full strength with 85 players on the roster. Roughly 25 of them are seniors. A couple of them have committed to Ole Miss. Long snapper and Trent's son Hayes Hammond and wide receiver Jacob Horn, son of former NFL receiver Joe Horn. But even with those players, Tupelo is embracing the underdog role this year.
You know, everybody knows we lost a lot. We're a team that, that is totally under the radar this year, that nobody's going to talk about. And we understand we're going to have to play with great effort and intensity every night, and hopefully we'll be up to that task.
People always love to count us out because we lost J-Rock and all them. But, I think we have a good core here, and I think we really got a shot this year.
Mentioned a minute ago that Friday Night Fever returns August 23rd. TCPS not going to wait that long. Eagles host Tishomingo County in their opener Thursday, August 22nd. Tishomingo County, the alma mater of TCPS head coach Sean Holliday. As for the Eagles, Kai Holliday, Sean's son, returning at quarterback. He's one of 30 players on the roster, and thanks to realignment, the Eagles have a tougher schedule in 2019.
You've got great teams like Nanawaya, Noxapater, and French Camp, and then they come in with Okolona and Smithville and us. You take 6 playoff teams and put them all in one division. It's going to be a heck of a division.
We just look at the schedule, see we're playing, but it just starts with day one with our scrimmage that we got here in 2 weeks and just being ready for it, being the mentally and physically ready that we can be for it.
Any athlete will tell you it takes time to prepare for competition. For bodybuilders, it takes a very long time. One bodybuilder in Tupelo is prepared for years to achieve his goal.
Okay.
Daryl Young enjoys his job as a barber. He's been cutting hair for around 25 years.
Please take the 2019 NPC Universe Overall Over 40 Bodybuilding Championship to competitor number 41, Daryl Young. Congratulations.
But Daryl Young's passion is bodybuilding, and after winning an overall championship recently at a show in New Jersey, he's now officially a professional.
I was doing local shows first, but I started doing the national shows about 5 years ago, and last year I finally made in the top 5, which that's a big thing when you're dealing with people from other countries, and I made it in the top 5. So this year I went back, actually brought a better package, and I worked harder.
Young played football at ICC, and after his playing days ended, he continued to work out.
Coming in here every day, I just said, you know what, I'm coming here every day working hard. I need to have a goal or something. So that what made me get into that, having a goal, getting in the body. That's what made me get into bodybuilding. Squeeze.
At 47 years of age, Daryl Young is proving you're never too old to accomplish your goals.
Set goals in your life. I don't care what it is, but set goals in your life. Now, when you set the goals in life, you need to have discipline. You got to have discipline. And that's the key, because if you don't have discipline, then you're not going to make it through the tough times, and because it's going to get tough.
Daryl Young's barbershop is called So Fresh and So Clean, and he works out at Premier Athletics. Young is about to start preparing for his first pro bodybuilding show. It's Labor Day weekend in 2020 in Pittsburgh. It's a Wednesday afternoon practice at East Webster High School. The boys and girls basketball teams are in the middle of their season. They're last under head coach Michael Seeger. In April, Seeger and his family will leave for a 2-year mission trip to Uganda.
Kelly and I have both been on previous short-term mission trips, and after doing a Bible study at our church, we began to pray about doing long-term missions, and we felt the Lord was leading us to do that, and as we began to pray, doors began to open and opportunities began to present themselves. And Kelly and I will be serving as co-directors of the House of Hope. The House of Hope is a home for vulnerable children, otherwise known as an orphanage. But we will also be, I'll be the headmaster of a school.
Since announcing they would be leaving, the family has been busy packing and selling belongings. Seeger has also made sure the program would be in good hands. His former mentor, John Ginn, has been assisting this season and will succeed him as head coach. Ginn has also been involved in ministry for 20 years.
I just encourage him because, you know, if the Lord calls you somewhere, he's going to provide what you need, whether it's financial, whether it's safety. And so I know he's going where the Lord's called him to go. And so my advice to him is just go with your whole heart and, you know, just know that the Lord's going to take care of you.
Seeger's players say they were shocked to learn he would be leaving, but they say they plan to make the best of it while he's still with them.
It's Coach Seeger's last season here. I think it motivates all of us to make it a great one for him and a great one for us.
It's kind of good, you know, that people do good things like that for other people, because right now he's about to get ready to leave all of his family and friends behind, you know, just going to do a good job.
Seeger says some of the players have talked about coming to visit Uganda to help with the ministry, and he hopes the mission trip will inspire others.
We just want to honor the Lord with our obedience, and we hope that people will see His love by our, by our time and ministry there in Uganda. And we also hope that our willingness to go will encourage others here to see the gospel is worthy of being obedient, and that there's a world full of people who need to know about the love of Christ.